I've talked to so many people over the last year that have said that Austin's housing market is going to crash and that prices are going to plummet. And many of my home buyer clients are asking exactly what I think is going to happen this summer. Prices continue to go down and inventory is holding steady, which offers buyers way more options and opportunity than they have in the last 3 years. I always think it's important to take a look at actual numbers and clear data so we can have a solid idea of exactly what's going on. Today, my friends, we are going to look at statistics from May of 2024 to show what the spring market brought and what the market looked like. Hey guys, I'm Daphne Quay, your boss lady realtor here in Austin, Texas, and I work with people that are relocating to Austin from all over the country and literally all over the world. If you're in Austin or thinking of moving to Austin and need more information, contact me. My contact information is in the description below. You can also set up a direct one-on-one video consultation with me. Just follow the link in the description below. So before we start, make sure to watch this video all the way to the end because the last portion of this info that I'm gonna go over gives some really telling information, and it allows you to see and realize what your negotiation power is as a home buyer. So make sure to watch this all the way to the end. There's some really valuable info here. So just as our video title suggests, we are going to be taking a look at what the spring market looked like in order to have a better idea of what our summer housing market might bring. I like to do these types of videos from time to time just to give everybody kind of a high-level update of what is actually going on in our housing market. As realtors in Austin, we are all part of the Austin Board of Realtors. And every month, the Austin Board of Realtors releases an infographic with numbers and data of what the housing market did in different counties and different cities the month prior. And then they take those numbers and compare them to what they did the year before. So we can really have a clear idea of what the market is doing, not just month to month, but year to year. So here we have the beautiful infographic that is brought to us by the Austin Board of Realtors. Now keep in mind, this is for Travis County. This is really just for Austin proper. Central Texas, I guess you could say, is made up of different counties and different cities, of course, but we're just focusing in on Travis to get us very narrow, very specific info. We can see here that in May of 2024, the median sales price was $555,000, which surprisingly is up 4.7% from last year's numbers. I was taking a look at this infographic last night while I was putting everything together for this video, and I saw this number and I was honestly a little bit surprised. I would have thought that the numbers from last year would have either held or honestly gone down simply because we're seeing so many price cuts in this market. Well, let's continue and see what else we can learn. Okay, if we go over one box to the left, we can see that the closed sales in May were 1,308, which is down 18.8% than the year prior. This actually makes a lot of sense to me. I have a lot of realtor friends and I'm involved in several realtor and real estate organizations, and everybody's basically saying the same thing across the board. Sales are down and people are taking much longer to make a decision. Let's go down to sales volume dollar. So this portion of our beautiful infographic says that in May, there were $965 million worth of real estate sold in Travis County alone, which sounds like an impressive number. However, that is down 17.6% from last year, which of course I think would make sense seeing that the closed sales was down 18.8%. So I think that definitely matches up. So if we look at this next little quadrant square rectangle shape here on our screen, it's saying that we have 5.6 months worth of inventory, which is up 2 months from May of 2023. This is really important, and here's why. When I first started in real estate in 2012, I was working with a realtor who had been in real estate for like 35 years in Austin. And I remember very clearly one day, we were looking at the MLS, which is a realtor database, basically, where all the homes that are for sale live, if you will. And he made a comment, he said, "Today we have 6 months worth of inventory." And then he made some sort of follow-up comment saying that that is a fairly healthy and balanced market. So keep in mind, this was 2012. Austin was very much starting its growth period, and we were, I would say, kind of recovering from the crash in 2008. Texas wasn't nearly as affected as the rest of the country. That's probably a whole other video for another time. But point being, we had 6 months worth of inventory, and he said that was a fairly balanced market. Now let me jump to 2021 and 2022, where we had almost no inventory in Central Texas. I remember there were several days where I went into the MLS, our database, to look for homes for clients. And all of this like Central Texas pocket that we are in literally had about 1,585 homes, which is nothing compared to the amount of inventory that we have today. Today, we are sitting at anywhere between 10,000 and 12,000 homes in the same Central Texas area, which is up, well, not quite 10x, I'd say 8x. I mean, it's up a lot. Going from 1,500 to sometimes 2,000 homes to 10 to 12,000. So as you can see, buyers have a lot more options, and that's why homes are staying on the market so much longer than they were before. So the little quadrant related directly to the months of inventory is the amount of new listings. In May of 2024, there were 2,611 new listings, which is up 16.3%. So 2,600 new listings sitting on the market longer. Again, it just goes back to the point that there are a ton more homes available and buyers have a ton of options. So just know if you're in the process of selling your home or thinking about selling your home, it's gonna take a lot longer. I'm setting the expectation right now with a lot of my seller clients that it will likely take 3 to 4 months to get their home moved. If we're super aggressive on pricing and we're really, really good about the presentation of the home, it's entirely possible to sell it quicker. But I'd rather set a very low expectation for anybody that is wanting to sell their home, because it could be a very devastating journey if you're expecting it to sell in a weekend, because that doesn't really happen anymore. Let's jump down to the average days on market. So days on market in May of 24 was 54 days. I think this is interesting, and I would be very curious to really dive in deeper to see kind of the hard numbers on this, because I've seen so many homes that will be on the market literally 90 to like 150 days. So many of the homes that I'm showing to my clients now have been on the market for oftentimes 90 days. And there was a couple homes that we looked at last weekend with a family that had been on the market for like 6 months. So like I said, I'm not doubting that this number is incorrect, the 54 days on market, but I am very curious and I would be very intrigued to take a look at other info. So our last and hottest little quadrant here is average close to list price. It's saying that the average price versus the sold value was 95% of the asking price. This is another portion that, again, I think is really, really valuable, because with every client that I work with, whether they are a home buyer or a home seller, everybody asks me, how much can we negotiate? So if I'm representing a buyer, they want to know how much they can get off the sales price of the home. And if I'm representing a seller, they want to know how much under their list price their home will sell. I always tell people this is very dependent on the home and very much dependent on the other party that we're working with. So if I'm representing a buyer and we're interested in a home that's been on the market for 4.5 months, obviously the buyer has a leg up. But if I'm representing a seller and we underprice the home and the presentation is at 125% and we have 3 offers, obviously we're not going to go under the asking price. So it's very house dependent, but this is the first time I'm seeing actual numbers like this where it's telling us that generally homes will sell for 95% of the asking price, which I think is some really valid information. So tell me, are you house shopping right now? Are you thinking about selling your home? Have you been watching the market? So I'm curious to see what you're seeing. I would love to have that interaction with you guys. Just leave a comment in the description below. Anyway, that is all I've got today, you guys. I'm Daphne Quaid, your boss lady realtor here in Austin, Texas. And like I said, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, contact me. My contact information is in the description below. Also, if you see me out and about, come say hi. Don't be weird. Don't give me a weird look. Come say hello. I love meeting you guys. So that is all that I have for you today.